Well, at least I'm not Canadian. If I were Canadian, I'd have to be quite ashamed of myself today. An educator in Toronto, Canada killed himself. And a bunch of racist assholes want to pretend that because he killed himself, that there's a bunch of rhetoric trying to destroy their black cause. Fuck you. White people are more likely to be the targets of racism from black people than the other way around. How lame is that? Racism against white people and sexism against men are the two biggest issues that we're facing in the United States. The two biggest issues. Bigger than abortion. Bigger than religion. Canadians want to shut down any dissent, kind of like America. See, I'm glad I'm not Canadian because right now I don't have to be ashamed of myself for being Canadian. But I'm an American and that's not any better. Americans are not better than Canadians. Canadians are not better than Americans. And this rhetoric is complete bullshit. When you make laws that protect only people of certain skin colors, you're being sexist and racist. And saying that that's anti-racist is bullshit. It makes you a goddamn liar. Kind of like Jason Aldean is a goddamn liar. What the fuck does that bitch know about a small town? Meanwhile, there's lots of people committing suicide right now because, well, there's no reason for us to fucking stick around. What is there? For us guys who are not the top 3% of men now, it was the top 20% back in the 90s. And it was the top 10% in the 2000s. Now we're at the top 3%. Women in America are only interested in the top 3% of men. You gotta have looks and money, and if not, well, you're just not good enough. If you got money, you're gonna get a gold digger. If you got looks, you're gonna get someone who's superficial. So goes life. Right? I am tired of the racist narrative out of the black community in this country. But at least we know that America's not the only ones dealing with this. How dare a man stand up to a racist black person? How dare we? We got white girls who are in the Peace Corps, traveled the world helping people, getting their brains blown out for saying all lives matter. Yeah. This country's pretty fucking gross. Canada's not any better. How many of my internet harassers come from Canada? Quite a few. Cora Bowers is one of them. One of many. On the bright side, I'm not a coward. I would rather lose my life than face the repercussions of cowardice. Face the repercussions of never speaking up, never trying. How many of y'all white people have been called a honky in your life? Or cracker? How many? I get to hear racism every day. I get to hear it out of people of every color. Last night, some youngins here in the parking lot, a couple of which I've known to be racist assholes. When there was a gun pulled last night, I wasn't sure if it was a real gun or a fake gun, but I wasn't going to be allowing some kid to get shot in the fucking head in front of me. Not gonna fucking happen. Them youth weren't thinking it through, though, were they? They didn't think through how quickly that could have ended badly. How quickly fucking around with a fake gun could have gotten them shot and killed. Meanwhile, we got a bunch of racist folks of many different colors proving that it doesn't come down to who's right and wrong. It comes down to popularity. It's popular to be black right now. Very, very popular to be black right now. If you're a black person right now, you can literally pretend that anything anybody says is fucking racist. And we're all supposed to go along with it. Kind of like a woman can pretend whatever the fuck she wants. We're all supposed to go along with it. This is why we, the people, are completely fucked. You don't want to offend black people by saying, hey, you're being racist. You don't want to call any person who is not white a racist because you don't want to get called a bigot, because you care what other people think. I know black people who hate Mexicans. I know Mexicans who hate black people. I know that racism is not a whites-only club. I also know that skeezers like BLM, who are out to sell a false narrative, anyone who supports BLM is my enemy. Did you know that? You support a racist hate group, we are enemies at that point. When you support a rhetoric that gets innocent people hurt or killed just because they have a different color of skin, you're fucked. You're not going to win an argument with me. You're not going to win a fight with me. You're not going to win shit with me. You want to be a fucking racist? I don't give a fuck what color you are. You're an asswipe. When it comes to rehabilitating racists, yeah, I've been in part responsible for such actions. I've been in part responsible for racists trying another way. It doesn't work with every racist, but there's lots of racist people who grew up in the system. Racism of every color. The system itself is inherently racist. You get locked up in a facility or a foster home, well, you better pay attention to the color of the kids around you and how many there are. If you got 2 white kids and a black kid in a foster home together, the black kid usually does pretty all right. But when you've got 2 black kids and a white kid in a foster home, that white kid is going to get bullied. He's going to get ganged up on. And he's going to get told that it's his fault because he's white. That was a reality in the 80s. It was a reality in the 90s. It was a reality in the 2000s. And it's reality now. You think that anybody who stands up to you, that you just talk over them so they can't be heard. And if you talk over them, then you automatically win. Well, that just makes you a fucking stupid piece of shit and a coward to boot, regardless of what color you are. I censor people hardcore. I for surely do. See, none of you give a fuck about my rights because I'm not the right color. You don't pay any attention to how many black men are killed every year under the auspices of they are mentally ill. Mentally ill. You know, they're killing white people over the same thing. They're killing the homeless at a higher rate, a much higher rate. You are more likely, per your population size, to be murdered as a homeless person than any other person in the country. Specifically, as a homeless male. That's right. 96% of those killed by police last year. 96% were men. 61% were homeless. 51% were disabled. I happen to be a disabled homeless man. I was forced into homelessness at 18 when I was dropped off out of the system with jack shit. No matter how hard I worked, people didn't pay me enough to fucking live on. I had to rely on people in Chapel, Nebraska who, well, like Phil McPhee, didn't give a shit about anybody else, didn't pay his rent. He just wanted my money. Well, I didn't have the money for food. The food that I was able to get, my roommates wanted to eat it all. I stand up to racists of every color. Them racist kids in the parking lot a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I definitely spoke up the whole night. I made sure them Hispanic kids who were walking across the street made it safely across the street and safely back to where they were going. Your teacher killed himself. Oh well. Yesterday, while I was looking through the news notifications that I get sent every day, I was looking through those notifications, and it's a whole bunch of racist stuff from black people complaining that white people are the racists. Blatant racism out of the black community and claiming white people are the racists. All lives matter. Here's the most disgusting thing about black culture in America. Black culture in America. Black culture is based entirely on blaming whites. Blaming slavery. Blaming whites for things that other people did. It's all white people's fault. White people's fault. You say silence is violence. And yet, How many black people are getting violent with white people right now and thinking they should get away with it because, oh, I'm black. I was obviously targeted because I was black. There's a 72-year-old woman decided it was okay to assault her white coworker. 72 years old, and this woman is pissed off because she was sentenced to 6 months in jail and 5 years of probation. She thought because she's 72 years old, she could get away with it. Nope. She also wants to claim that it was racially motivated. She was targeted because she was black. No, you were targeted because you fucking assaulted people who you disagreed with. And you thought you'd get away with it because of your skin color. And you thought you'd play it off because of your skin color. Well, guess what, you fucking fuck? You're out of luck. Will she serve the full 6 months? No, chances are pretty damn good she'll be out in 2.5. Chances are pretty good that she's not going to serve the full 6 months. Of course, she's 72 years old. She might die in jail, too. You never know. How can it be racist to do it to black people if it's not racist to do it to white people? If it's being done to black people and to white people, it's obviously not against black people, especially with the numbers that we got. Now, of course, we get to hear BLM complaining about a bunch of shit that BLM members are actually doing. Is BLM complaining about BLM members doing these things? No. They're telling us that we should be ignoring the crimes by black people because it takes away from the black cause. What's the black cause now? It's we should be allowed to do anything we want because we're not white. No, I'm not going to fucking go for that. I'm not going to go for a bunch of girls getting shot in the head by big black men for saying all lives matter. Oh, we're not saying other lives don't matter. No, you're being a racist prick, is what you're being. You're wanting to sell a racist rhetoric to try to get free shit. You want to get sympathy because of the color of your skin, and if you have to fucking lie to get that sympathy, you'll do it. Just like a woman who gets strung out on fucking meth, and her husband leaves with the kids. Oh, he raped me, he beat me. He's a drug dealer. No, he's a good father, and he kicked your can to the fucking curb for a reason. God bless America, right? You know what? Not every goddamn thing that happens in this world is racist. As far as racism goes, most people are racist. Just most of you are closet racist. Black people don't have to be closet racist. They can be loud and proud about being racist. It's popular to be racist against white people. It's popular for white people too. You're damn right I speak out. You're damn right I pay attention to current events. But I pay more attention to the responses of the American public because I live in America. And judging those responses is important. When 6 black girls surround a white girl on a train and assault the fuck out of her, and then pretend that it's not racially motivated, Well, that little girl didn't do anything wrong, and there were racial slurs being thrown at that little white girl. So yeah, it was absolutely racially motivated. We have taught black people that if they don't get what they want, it's white people's fault, and take it out on white people. The white people did it. White people did it. White people did it. White police officers fucking killed people. Not that little white girl on the fucking bus. When your parents are telling you, hey, it's white people's fault, why don't you stop and think for a moment before attacking a random white girl on a fucking train? Yeah, my apologies for saying a bus the first time. It was a fucking train. Did that little white girl deserve that? No, she didn't. But according to the people who fucking assaulted her, she did. Because she was white. It's okay for black people to kill white people, because George Floyd, really, George Floyd got fucking lucky. He died. That is lucky. Because between having to live like that or live like this, being dead is a much better prospect. The only thing that keeps me alive is the idea that maybe someday one of y'all might give a shit. But you don't. A lot of my white friends wanted to speak up about black people they didn't know. Some of those black people were harmed by literally the same officers who harmed me. And they could speak up about those people, but would not speak up about me. Why is that? Because your friend Sean doesn't matter as much as a black random person. Any black person is more important to Kinga Nichols than Sean Schwartz, who she's known for years. Kinga Nichols should have been a decent person. She should have come forward and told the truth. Instead, she wanted to play victim after she got busted bullshitting. Well, that's on you, Kinga Nichols, not me. Although she's remarried. Married one of the guys that worked at the pedestrian shop with her. God bless America, right? Alright, there's my screwdriver. I guess I didn't need to close my door. I hope you're enjoying the ringing. Ah! I think that would work better if I didn't have it in gear. I'm trying to start my car and running myself over in the process seems kind of stupid. So of course, when you're being harmed, you're supposed to go to your friends and family for help. When you're being bullied, you're supposed to go to your friends and family for help. What do I get to hear out of them asswipes? We all have problems, but what do we hear out of the black community? Our problems are worse than all of yours. You need to drop everything you're doing and protect us black people. Fuck you! You black people are ignoring the black people on the streets. So fuck you and your BLM bullshit. The most victimized black people are homeless black men, you fucking twits. You want us to ignore any and all crimes committed by black people because it destroys the black cause. How about you dumbasses stop making it a racist thing like that? How about you fucking clean house? How about you take care of the predators within your ranks? How about you stop blaming white people for your stupid decisions? How about you hold yourselves responsible for your actions instead of blaming white people? There are millions of white people in this country who are impoverished too, you dumb cunts. So you can take your racism and you can shove it up your ass. BLM is a disgusting hate group selling bullshit rhetoric just like the KKK. What's the difference between the two? There isn't one. Oh, wait, there absolutely is. It's popular to be racist if you support BLM. Then it's okay to be racist. Then everything is white people's fault and poor you, poor you. It's all white people's fault, right? Yet we've got plenty of black men and black women who are, no, they're not. Jason Aldean, that's about it. Other than that, black women and black men are not standing up for white people who have been harmed in that way. No, we're told that we need to shut up about it and go to the back of the fucking bus. Oh, you're a white person? Well, you can't be a victim of assault or abuse. You can't be a victim of systemic abuse. You're white. You have privilege. You get this white privilege check. Sure we do. I've got white privilege because men earn, on average, $50,000. Well, it's not $50,000 anymore. It's now $37,500. That's right. The average median income for a man lowered by almost $13,000. $13,000 per year. They removed over a quarter of a man's average income. Over a quarter of it in just 3 years. God damn. There is no reason for a white person to go to work, especially a white male. There is no reason for you to pay the taxes that are going to have you and your people hung. Why are the prisons so full of men? Is it because men are more violent? No, it's because women get leniency. Women are more likely to be pedophiles, but men are more likely to serve a lot of time in prison. A lot of people want to talk about how, well, there's a lot more male pedophiles in prison than female pedophiles. Well, that's pretty easy to do when a woman who has sex with a student serves an average of 8 months. But a guy gets busted seeing porn in school, he gets 16 years. A male teacher has sex with a student, he gets 40 years. So then we've got these female hate groups wanting to hate on men and said, oh, well, look at the number of men who are locked up for pedophilia. That's right. And look at their average fucking sentence, dumbass. A woman has sex with a student, she gets 8 months. A man has sex with a student, he gets 40 years. Why are women so much more likely to have sex with their students than men? Because they're more likely to get a slap on the fucking wrist. BLM is dirty and nasty. And until BLM is fighting for our rights, BLM can kiss my ass. BLM is a racist hate group, and they are just as much my enemy as the KKK. Not sure if you dumbasses noticed. I know all of us white people look the same to you. But to other white people, they look at me and they see Jew. I don't have any girls here, right? That's what I used to get called. Oh, it's girl curls. Girl curls was coming. They also called them Jew curls. If it was wet outside, they'd curl right up. I got beat up by black kids. I got beat up by white kids. I got beat up by Asian kids. I got beat up by Hispanic kids. I got beat up a lot growing up. Seems to me nobody knows how to fight fair or fight one-on-one. There's no such thing as a fair fight, is there? No, there's not. On the bright side, all 300 men could easily overpower and rape a 90-pound woman to death. A 90-pound woman with a Colt 45 is probably going to win the fight. Now, a woman with a gun knows that she can shoot a 300-pound man. She also knows if she tells the right lie, she can get away with it. She also knows that if he's got a gun, she still has to be afraid. There was a woman who shot her husband in the back of the head while he was watching TV. This back in the 1980s. Shot him in the back of his head. Thought she was going to get off for blowing his head off by claiming that he was physically violent towards her. One of the things that stuck out is that the man's body was covered in bruises. He was a construction worker. Were those bruises from working construction, or were those bruises from getting beaten by his wife? Jury didn't believe her. Today they would, because they would be expected to. A jury today is expected to be woke. Fuck being woke. I am wide fucking awake, bitches. What the fuck does woke mean? It means that you are sharing ignorance, spreading ignorance, and believe that it should go unchecked because your color gives you special rights. Your gender gives you special rights. Women have special rights in this country, not men. Blacks have special rights in this country, not whites. Now, when it comes to social interactions, that becomes a very different story. Black people don't see me the way the white people do. Black people see me as a white person. I must be the enemy because I'm white. I must be racist because I'm white. And if a black person chooses to victimize me, all they got to do is say, oh, he called me the N-word. All the women have to do after trying to destroy your life is go, oh, well, I thought he was going to rape me. He looked rapey. He looked rapey. Go fuck yourselves. Trying to find an American that's not a coward is about like trying to find a needle in a haystack without a magnet. How would I find a needle in a haystack? With a fucking magnet. Oh, come on. Take me to Tillamook Library.
Sure, Tillamook County Library.
Yes, I stand up to racists. I stand up to white racists. I stand up to black racists. Doesn't matter what fucking color your skin is. If you're a racist, I'm gonna fucking call you out. If you're a sexist, I'm gonna call you out.
Continue on North Main Street for 1 mile.
And if that's not enough, I'll start giving you equality. Although I'm not very good at that, because there are things that black people seem to be able to do and white people seem to be able to do that I'm not able to bring myself to do because I have some moral, well, something. Do I have a better moral compass than you? Well, fuck yes, I do. I'm not going out starting shit with black people and then saying it's because black people are racist. I call out racism where I see it. Mandy Singer is a white lady. She's got a grandson who's half black. All of a sudden she wanted to join the woke thing by claiming that Will Smith hitting Chris Rock in the head was white people's fault. See, now she's just trying to kiss ass and lick butthole. That's not the same thing as fighting for equality. It's not the same thing as fighting against racism. And calling racism antiracism is fucking ignorant as fucking shit. Holy hell. There's a difference between you and a turd, though. A turd doesn't know anything because it doesn't have any fucking brains. You don't know anything because you're selectively looking the fuck away.
Turn left onto Stillwell Avenue, then turn right onto 2nd Street.
A turd doesn't have eyes to witness a crime. A turd doesn't have ears to hear the crime. A turd is useless. Don't be a turd. That goes for all of you, regardless of your skin color. Don't be a turd.
Turn right onto 2nd Street, then your destination will be on the left.
And if you want to pretend to be a turd, I can treat you like a turd by flushing your stinky ass down the toilet, metaphorically speaking.
Take the next left, 3rd Street, then onto Ivy Avenue.
Kiss my ass, telephone.
Take the next right onto 4th Street, then turn right onto Grove Avenue.
There's the library. Alright, I'm gonna end this video. But I'm gonna try ending it on a lighter note. My face. Does me being light-skinned make me your enemy? If so, you gotta go. Being black doesn't make you my enemy. Joining the ranks of BLM does. Being white doesn't make you my enemy. Joining the ranks of the KKK does. If you are my enemy, it is by your choice and your choice alone.